afternoon, whenever the heck it is. My hand is freezing. But I've been watching some videos on YouTube about the new rent program, that is not even, you can't even apply to it yet in most places around the country. It's a brand new one. I talked about it before, $25 billion. But the problem that I see in some of these other videos are telling you, to just search for your city and rent relief and everything. You're not going to find the right thing, because it is, I mean, you may, but likely you won't, because if you go to and Google anything with rent or relief or grants or something like that in a city or state or whatever, because that's where the money's going, you're going to get an old program, and the old programs have no more money. So that's why you have to look for the new one. So if you call an office or whatever, and that's the other thing, you'll solve a lot of problems by calling, not by just going on Google. Unless, to me, the way to use Google, if you want to use that, is when you search for emergency rent assistance. And you search for emergency rent assistance, and then you in Google you put the state you're in, Arizona, or you want to see, and then there's another tab at the end of the block where you fill out the keywords. There's a little tab called Tools, Tools. So you click on Tools, and then you put in, you just want the new websites for the last week, because otherwise you're going to get last month, last year, last century, or whatever. And this is a brand new program, and the cities are not set up to hand out the money yet, or the states. Some of them, like I just read Miami, they're saying it's going to be available, but you can't even apply yet. Something like that. And Texas is like that. It's available, but you can't even apply yet. And it's at the state level. Miami's at city level. So it's all screwed up like that. But more importantly, you're going to have to figure that out yourself. And when I get back to the office, my apartment, in the description, I'll put a listing, because if you're not a member of Let's Go Help, I'll put a listing of all the places to check in your state. Get on the phone. That's the only way you're going to find this stuff for sure. And when somebody says they don't have it, say, I'm looking for the brand new one. You may not know about it yet. I'm going to come over to DC in a walk. Oh, great. I don't even at the top of the day. Well, Valentine's Day is special for us. We think we conceived our first son on a Valentine's Day, and that got us to get married. I mean, I was married twice. I wasn't really interested again, and it sort of worked out really good. So, and kids are great. I mean, it's the only thing in life I found that's better than I thought it would be. Everything else, by the time you get it, big deal. Kids, man, they're just great. Anyway, it's hard to find. Get on the phone, talk to people. If they said they have no money, they're right, but that's the wrong program, because this program, Beehive, this program, the money hasn't even landed in your city or state. So that's why you have to work at this stuff, and you have to take out your phone and be careful using Google. And like I say, for something like this, because it's new money, just that you want to look at new websites. And more importantly, probably just news. It's going to be in the news. Okay, happy Valentine's Day. Mary, thank you, Mary. You're awfully merry. It's good to be merry. And what lousy weather. But I guess it's February, so I got to put my glove back on. Orientation is locked. Okay, there. Now we're all oriented for this, but it's difficult. People aren't, used to having to work hard at finding this stuff, because everybody thinks they just go to a website. No, it's too hard. It's sort of like now reading. When I get back to, I'll tell you how to use Reddit. That's a place where people complain, and now they have special things, just like people can't get their unemployment money. It's all screwed up. The government's all screwed up. So you have to be patient. But this is a new program for rent, and I think this is probably one of the most important things we're going to have for a while, until they have some new rent money. But you don't know, and you don't know if and when, and things like that. So there's two things I think now, is this rent program that is new. And so when you look for it, you say you're looking for the new program, not an old program. So when somebody says they don't have money, no, this is a new program that just passed in Congress. Don't forget your elected official. More and more Lesko Help members are getting satisfaction out of using their elected official. So don't forget them. That's your congressman and senator, and that's through using, commoncause.org to find them. I worry that if you use things like 211 or findhelp.org, that you're going to get people that are, it's going to just tell you the old stuff, because they'll be in the website for rent assistance, in the 211, but they won't have any money, and so you're going to waste time doing that. The only other place that is really good, I think, is your community action agency. So if you want to search for community action agency for your city or your state, choose the county or city or state. You can put the state, because then you'll get all the ones in that state. And that's called the Community Action Agency. They'll know of all the organizations. They'll know before 211 and everybody else, because they keep track of this stuff more than others do. And a lot of these programs are going through the Community Action Agency. And then you call, your elected official. You have 2 senators and a congressman. Tell them the new bill that they just passed in January, that you can't find where to apply for the rent money. And that's what you want to do. You have to do it. You have to beat on these people. It's not going to happen by itself. And stop going around in Google circles, searching the internet that something's going to pop out for you. No, start talking to people. Talk to these organizations. Okay, where would you go if you were in my shoes? Because they do that all the time. You're looking for this the first time or whatever. So it's important that you keep calling people and asking for help. Ron, if you're in Florida looking for the grant, there's something called SHIP, Florida Housing, put SHIP. That's in Tallahassee, and they seem to have a handle on where this money will be in Florida. So that's good. And again, anybody you're talking about rent assistance, just don't say you want rent assistance. Say you want the new rent assistance, the one that isn't even available yet. You want to know where it's going to be and when it's going to be. Because if you're not there early and if you're not there often, I think it's just going to go too quickly. The other thing that's happening now, I think, in the government money is on the PPP. That money is easier now than it was before. It doesn't require a credit check, even though they may do one because it goes through an intermediary. But the people giving out the money, the SBA, they don't care. So you have to work through a financial institution, so they may do it for who knows why. But it doesn't matter, and you don't even have to have a business. This is business money. You could be a contractor, a freelancer, a nonprofit, or whatever, and that's up to $100,000 you don't have to pay back. And that's good stuff. So, there are 2 big national programs that you really want to see if you could squeeze into those somehow. And the way to do it is the people giving out the money. Don't trust the people like me who are telling you about it. No, I don't give you the money. What the hell? I'm guessing. May or may not be. You go to the people giving out the money. That's the SBA itself, the people locally giving out the grants, and see, because everybody's going to have different interpretations, and unless you don't want to get the money, and only if it's easy, well, that's too bad. I think there's just too much available, but it takes effort. And effort that most people don't want to put in because they don't know how yet. We're not taught to work that hard anymore. But that's a biased opinion. And it's certainly not true all the time. But if you're not used to doing this, then utility assistance in Iowa. I used it LEAP last fall and need something now. This is different. Now this is different utility money. It's not LEAP. And that's why I see it's all different. I mean, that's a program, LEAP, that's been around for 20, 30 years. This is brand new money. It's for utilities. It's for rent. And you can get like $10,000, $20,000 because they're going to pay a whole year's worth for you, or a year and a half. So, I mean, that's big money. And utilities. Somebody can bump my ass in the car here. So, you got to find out that new one, where it is in Iowa. Okay, if I was in Iowa, I'd put, emergency rent assistance, and then Iowa. And then on the tools, because if you don't do this part, if you don't put tools, you're just going to overwhelm and find a whole bunch of crap that that won't be helpful at all. Same way in North Carolina. And then in the tools you just want to, what has come up in the last week? Because that's when these are popping up, And then if that doesn't work, then you go to the description that I'll put in when I get back to my apartment. I'll put in a link. You download that link, and where are all your hearts on veterans? I know. The one day I should be wearing hearts. I know. The links, so there's 7 sources in your state that you would call who would know about these things. The other thing, I don't know if you know, I have a new website too called Let's Go Reports. That's plural with an S on the end. Let'sGoReports.com. You could put in your state, and for $5 I send you all the places in your state to do that. That's at Let'sGoReports.com. Or wait till I get home and I'll send you the thing in the description to do that. Man, it's cold out here. The sun's going down. Now I see why old people go to Florida. But it's fun. There's lots to do. It's just be careful. I mean, be careful what I say, what anybody says, because we're all different people. And you have to make it yourself. You have to make it work for yourself and your way. What works for you won't work for somebody else. So you just take little bits and try to force it. If it doesn't work, then that means you got to try something else. It's like learning to walk or doing anything else new that you haven't done before. You just got to fall on your butt 100 times before you get it down and figure it out. We haven't. And look all the idiots that do well in this life. So you could see that it doesn't take a mental genius to do this shit. It's raining here in Florida. Ooh, right now that sounds nicer. It must be in the 30s here. And I grew up in eastern Pennsylvania, so I've been a lot colder, but how cold is it? Yeah, it's about 30, I think. It's supposed to be up, maybe getting close to 40, but I don't think it made it. At least it isn't there now. Tomorrow it's going to hang around at those numbers for a while, I think, till the end of the week. Maybe we'll get up through the 40s. But it is, it doesn't make it fun. Yeah. Well, what I'm going to do too, I'm trying to find, the Facebook group is great, and I'm having a lot of fun helping people there, but I'm looking at another platform that I think I'm gonna put adjacent to it. So there'll be another, Let's Go Help 2 kind of thing that people could join by, be the one price for being both. And well, it looks like an easier place to join and put in groups, like in states. So many of the members now want to find other people in their state who have tried things. so they could share information about what they got. We got a few members, like in Florida, man, they're knocking it out of the park. But now we got to put them in a separate place. So if you're in Florida, you could see all the stuff they're getting for you. In Florida, got another person in New York is just knocking it out. All kinds of things. I don't even know what the heck they are most of the time. There's so much. And so that's what we have to do, is organize this stuff so that we help each other. I mean, I just have a more overview of this stuff, and you guys are on the ground, you know, and calling and trying and whatever. That's the way you share. That's the way we help each other with this stuff. You know, I mean, you go to, I guess, Reddit or something like that, and they have that there too. But it's mid-30s in Louisiana. Wow! Boy, you got cheated. Mid-30s in Louisiana. Beehive, what have you found in Mississippi? Mid-30s. Wow. Wow. That's amazing. Oh, God. -8 in Wisconsin. Oh, I went to school in Milwaukee. But I've never been so cold as I was up in Upper Michigan. I went skiing one day, or a couple of days, or whatever it was. Man, it was so cold. It was like 30 below zero. And you'd go down the hill once, and there'd just be ice all over your face. And that's about all you could do for skiing, is to, once at a time, you had to go get warm before you went out again. And that's what this is like to me, going out for a brisk walk in this weather. It sort of reminds me of skiing. 77 degrees in Florida. Oh, is he lying? Is he lying? Yeah. He just wants to feel better than anybody else. And he probably does at 77 degrees, doesn't he? Yeah. Oh my God. Well, actually, Miami already has this new program set up. Again, I don't think they're taking applications yet, but it's set up. So that's why, do this. You know, just take a look. Go and Google, you know, emergency rent assistance, and put your state, you know, Wisconsin. And then on tools, just put, you just want to see things for the last week. You know, anything that came up in the last week. And see, and then you'll see, look for the emergency rent assistance applications when you see, and you can read the, at least when I look at Google, you can read like the first line or two or something, and you'll see, oh, this is going to open soon and things like that. There'll be some other crap in there that doesn't make any sense. That's okay, just ignore it. But this is the way to find that. That's how to use the robots, you know, because otherwise, you know, if you don't put that, just the things for this week or the last 7 days or whatever, you'll just get a billion websites. And when you go to the ones that send rent relief, they'll say, we're out of money. Yeah, so it doesn't do you any good. So why waste time? Yeah, right now you want the new stuff. I mean, there is stuff. If we weren't in tight times, the old stuff would still have money, but we're not. So it's tight times, so that rent stuff is going to be gone. So you got to find the new stuff, okay? And I better start doing something to get my hands warmer. Okay? So I'll see you soon. Thanks for putting up with me.